Welcome, everyone, to a space where we delve into the very fabric of our existence. The stories we tell. Not just the ones we find in books or on screens, but the narratives we weave around ourselves, our lives, and the world we inhabit. Stories, in their essence, are the vessels of our understanding. They are the maps we use to navigate the complex terrain of human experience. Think about it. From the moment we're born, we're immersed in stories. The lullabies sung by our parents, the fairy tales that spark our imaginations, the history lessons that shape our understanding of the past. Each one is a thread in the tapestry of our consciousness. These stories aren't just entertainment. They are the blueprints of our beliefs, our values, our very sense of self. Take, for instance, the power of myth. Ancient civilizations relied on myths to explain the inexplicable, to give meaning to the chaos of the natural world. The Greek myths, the Norse sagas, the Aboriginal Dreamtime stories, these weren't just fanciful tales. They were the cultural DNA of their societies, encoding moral lessons, social structures, and existential truths. Consider the myth of Icarus, a cautionary tale about hubris and the dangers of exceeding our limits. Or the myth of Prometheus, a symbol of rebellion and the pursuit of knowledge, even in the face of divine wrath. These stories weren't just told. They were lived. They shaped the way people understood their place in the universe, their relationships with each other, and their responsibilities to their communities. Then there's the power of personal narrative. Each of us is the protagonist of our own story, a narrative we construct and revise throughout our lives. We tell ourselves stories about who we are, where we've come from, and where we're going. These stories shape our choices, our relationships, and our sense of purpose. Think about the stories we tell ourselves about our past. We filter our memories through the lens of our present, selectively remembering and forgetting, shaping our personal history to fit our current narrative. We might romanticize our childhood, casting ourselves as the innocent hero of a bygone era, or we might demonize it, painting ourselves as the victim of circumstance. These personal narratives aren't just harmless embellishments. They have a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being. If we tell ourselves a story of failure and inadequacy, we're more likely to act in ways that reinforce that narrative. Conversely, if we tell ourselves a story of resilience and strength, we're more likely to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. Film, of course, is a powerful medium for storytelling. Consider the impact of classic films like Casablanca, a story of sacrifice and redemption in the face of war, or The Shawshank Redemption, a tale of hope and perseverance in the face of injustice. These films don't just entertain us. They resonate with our deepest desires and fears, offering us vicarious experiences that expand our understanding of the human condition. Think about the power of the hero's journey, a narrative archetype that appears in countless films and stories. The hero, called to adventure, faces trials and tribulations, confronts their shadow self, and ultimately returns transformed, bringing wisdom and redemption to their community. This narrative resonates with us because it reflects the universal human experience of growth and transformation. But stories can also be dangerous. They can be used to manipulate, to control, to perpetuate harmful stereotypes and ideologies. Consider the power of propaganda, the deliberate use of stories to shape public opinion and behavior, or the insidious nature of stereotypes, the simplified narratives that reduce individuals to caricatures, denying their complexity and humanity. The stories we tell about race, gender, and class can have a profound impact on social justice. If we perpetuate narratives that dehumanize and marginalize certain groups, we contribute to systemic inequality and oppression. Conversely, if we tell stories that celebrate diversity and promote empathy, we can help to create a more just and equitable world. Literature, of course, is a vast and varied landscape of storytelling. From the epic poems of Homer to the novels of Jane Austen, from the plays of Shakespeare to the short stories of Ernest Hemingway, literature offers us a mirror to our own humanity, reflecting our hopes, our fears, and our dreams. Think about the power of metaphor, the use of figurative language to create vivid and evocative images, or the power of symbolism, the use of objects and characters to represent abstract ideas and emotions. Literature allows us to explore the depths of human experience in a way that transcends the limitations of everyday language. But stories aren't just confined to the pages of books or the screens of cinemas. They're also found in the everyday interactions of our lives. The stories we tell our friends about our day, the stories we tell our children at bedtime, the stories we tell ourselves in the quiet moments of introspection. Each one is a thread in the ongoing narrative of our lives. Consider the power of gossip, the informal exchange of stories about other people's lives. Gossip can be a way of bonding and building social connections, but it can also be a tool for exclusion and manipulation. Or the power of rumors, the unverified stories that spread like wildfire, shaping public opinion and behavior. The stories we tell about our culture, our nation, and our history shape our collective identity. They define who we are as a people, what we value, and what we aspire to. But these stories can also be contested, challenged, and revised as our understanding of the past evolves. Think about the power of historical revisionism, the rewriting of history to fit a particular political or ideological agenda. Or the power of cultural appropriation, the taking of stories and symbols from one culture and using them out of context, often for commercial gain. The stories we tell about the future shape our hopes and fears, our aspirations and anxieties. Science fiction, for example, offers us glimpses into possible futures, both utopian and dystopian. These stories can inspire us to create a better world, or they can warn us about the dangers of unchecked technological advancement. Consider the power of prophecy, the stories that claim to predict the future. Prophecies can be a source of hope and inspiration, but they can also be a tool for manipulation and control. Or the power of utopia, the idealized stories of perfect societies that inspire us to create a better world. Ultimately, the stories we tell are a reflection of who we are, both as individuals and as a society. They shape our understanding of the past, our experience of the present, and our hopes for the future. By becoming more aware of the stories we tell, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We must learn to be critical consumers of stories, to question their assumptions, to examine their biases, and to challenge their narratives. We must also learn to tell our own stories, to reclaim our voices, and to shape our own destinies. The stories we tell have the power to heal and to harm, to unite and to divide, to liberate and to oppress. By choosing our stories wisely, we can create a more just, compassionate, and meaningful world. Let us embrace the power of storytelling, not as a tool for manipulation or control, but as a means of connection, understanding, and transformation. Let us tell stories that inspire us to be better, to do better, and to create a better world for all.